Hello, hello, what is up, what is good? We got a new chapter of One Piece. This is 1142. What I'm afraid of. That could be a lot of things. Who is the I'm in this sentence, and what are they afraid of? Well, the last one ended on a pretty major climax. Loki got freed, or at least like partially freed. It seems like he still has some chains on, but he was able to stand up and reach for his weapon. So I think he can probably get himself all the way free if that is his prerogative. But I think this is where we're going to have kind of our first big twist of the arc. Loki is not going to be a demonic bat out of hell that instantly just starts going on a rampage and crushing everybody, I think, as a lot of the giants fear. But instead is going to make good on his promise with Luffy and I don't know. It's like not really clear exactly what he wants to do once freed. Putting aside, the fears of him just rampaging, I think he wants to expose the truth of King Harold, which I'm sure will be a extensive flashback at some point. The fact that King Harold was actually in cahoots with the government, may have been selling them children in cooperation with Mother Caramel, all sorts of other sins that I think need to come to light. But I don't really know like how he's gonna do that. Does he have some proof or evidence? I still think there is a major X factor lurking in this arc, which lies at the top of the tree, Valhalla or equivalent. Who knows what the hell is going on up there? But maybe that's where this will get involved, is Loki will want something from up there. I don't know. I want to see, personally, more of our very entertaining Holy Knights that warped in. Really fascinated by those characters, even though they're obviously going to be dickbags. Sir Killingham, especially, really intrigues me. And between chapters, I was looking up what people were saying about him because I wanted to see if there was other big fans. And the common consensus seems to be that he is somebody who is using a Kirin, the mythical creature Kirin, a zone devil fruit for that, and is in like the half human, half zone form, and is awakened, which explains the billowing clouds, a motif of awakened people. Notably, billowing white clouds, whereas other ne'er do wells in the world government always have black clouds, which is interesting. Maybe he is somehow more of a sympathetic figure than we think, despite his allegiances. Anyways, yeah, they think it's just a zone fruit user guy, and he doesn't just look like that. But I think he just looks like that. I was convinced. You can go back and watch the video. I never once considered that it was a zone fruit, even though, in this series there's been dozens of people that can transform into animals and mythological creatures. I just thought it was yet another crazy species. And you know what? Even though it probably is a zone fruit guy, even though that would make like way more sense, I kind of want to stick with my guns here. I think he just looks like that. I think he's just from some sort of ancient species that has been wiped out, all down to a few, one family maybe, that is enshrined in the world government and works in the Holy Knights and is like the last of this chosen race and blah, 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 blah. Is that likely? I don't think so. But I gotta be wrong sometimes too. I'm becoming so convinced of some of my other theories. And I was right about the King Harold thing. I'm like 99% sure. And I'm more and more confident about what I think the One Piece is. And I have other theories just speculating that I'm feeling very confident about. So this one I'll just throw to the wind and be like, if I'm right, I'm right. Okay. Uh, Anyways, on the cover, Yamato fucking up. Who's who? This is who's who, right? I always get their names mixed up. Saving Alti, let's go. Using his version of his dad's Thunder Bagua. Alright, alright. Okay. Big Snake has arrived at school. The kids are freaking out. It's unclear. Is this related to the Holy Knight's presence? I don't know. I think this is just kind of the sort of thing that happens on Elbaf. There's just some scary creatures around. A snake that brings the end to the week. You mean Saturday? An end to the week. Saturday's the last day in the week. Very funny. But Jormungandr is like from Norse mythology. It's the snake that encircles the world tree at the bottom. Right? I'm pretty sure. Or yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yggdrasil. Really is an enormous snake out there. A beast from the underworld. What is it doing here in the sun world? Whoa, look at these teachers. Miss Engi we've seen before. But Principal Tusk, I love him. Mr. Blade. One of the least goofy looking giants we've seen so far. Okay. This guy runs in with a hammer. Midterm X Slam. Now, this is the first time, to my knowledge, we've ever seen Jaguar D Sol actually fight. Now, I kind of assumed he was strong because he's a giant, and he was a Navy Vice Admiral, and he's got a D in his name, which usually, although it seems to represent something besides being super strong, seems to always go to super strong people. But I think it's kind of neat that, you know, he got to, like, he got frozen, which wasn't good, but what do you do? Hard to beat getting frozen. And aside from that, he's just kind of been chill, for lack of a better word. So he gets a little action scene here. Just to remind us, he's not just yet another giant, perhaps. Maybe he is actually one of the strongest giant combatators on Elbaf. I'm curious about this dude with the hammer, too. That's pretty sweet. I like that style, this sort of ball-peen hammer. Ah, it's Principal Tusk! He's the one that did it. Cool, cool. Yeah, the ball-peen hammer. The dude from Sakamoto Days uses it, too. It's sweet. Very good, very good. So, he was in the former Giant Pirates. He probably rode with Doggy and Brogy. Brogy? What are their names? Doggy and Drogy and Boggy? Whatever. I love his design. I love that he's got a big hammer. They beat up the snake. So the snake thing, I guess it's probably because Loki got freed and all the animals are freaking out, and some of them ran up to the Sun World, perhaps. But really, I think this is like, oh, there's going to be a showdown between the Holy Knights and the giants that are at the school. Whoever else is at the school. So let's kind of set the stage so that during that moment of crisis, we're not suddenly also being like, look, it's Funny Walrus Man. Although I love Funny Walrus Man. Mr. Sol is super duper strong. Yeah. Looks like this in the Sun World. More like the usual wild animals. Uh-oh. But yeah, okay, so the raid on the children has begun. It looks like we are shifting gears. It might be a back and forth thing, but we're at least not focused right now on the aftermath of Loki's freedom. Scared of Luffy, of course. Strange, small little moment of comedy. The wandered off. You mustn't touch the children. Ooh, is this somebody's power? Fell asleep and wouldn't talk to us. Oh, man. This is creepy. Somehow mind ghouled by the world government. Ooh. Yeah, this is, what's her face's power? I thought it was a spread. Marching the children with the power of her arrow, it seems. Very ambiguous power. It's in a normal state of affairs, Saul. Look at the forest. Okay, they blow this big horn. More monsters there. I love the silhouettes of these monsters. Ooh, so spooky. The children are passing out. Oh man, this is spooky. This is like, even though like we know what's going on, or like we have a much better idea of what's going on. We know that it's those freaking ghouls from the world government. I think they've conveyed well just how scary and mysterious this is to the Giants, right? Like, just that kind of like, I think this is like one of the best feelings you can get from like a medical drama. Is that, oh my god, what is going wrong? It happened so suddenly, and who knows how long we have to stop this before things get really bad. Okay. Okay. Now we come back to Loki. Only one leg left trapped in the Sea Prism Stone. If you want to save Elbaf, undo the final cuff now. You'll soon see if I'm really helpless or not in this condition. Okay, so his weapon is a giant hammer. Not a ball peen hammer, but a old school sledgehammer. Just a cube on a stick. Ooh. If I keep landing blasts, eventually they'll hit something, and the fires will spread. You know what Elbaf is susceptible to, don't you? Fires. We saw this set up last chapter when they talk about the village that burned down and burned through the tree. Because as tough and as impenetrable, ancient gnarled wood of the Adam tree can still catch fire. It is still wood in the end. We've seen the Sunny catch fire before. What's interesting to me is like, what does he mean by blasts? Is that something to do with his devil fruit? Because it doesn't seem like a hammer would cause a fire, to my knowledge. It could also be like, it seems like hockey can kind of just like let you use fire sometimes, because Luffy has been able to do the Red Hawk punch, Ace's flaming fist, and it's like unclear where the flames came from. I also like that Loki really is blinded. It's unclear if he had his eyes plucked out, which feels very mythological, or he's just, the bandages are stopping him from seeing. But I don't know. So again, we're not confirmed that he's like actually a bad dude yet. He's sure acting like it. And it's quite interesting to me that he doesn't really seem to care whether or not he's perceived as in the right whatsoever. He seems more than content to lean into all of the misconceptions about him. Or again, I'm really reading this from the perspective that I'm 100% right, and King Harold was the true evil, and Loki is misunderstood anti-hero. Okay. Oh, it's Thor's hammer. Wherever he hits it, a lightning bolt slams down. Ooh, that's sick nasty. Okay, the fire begins. Oh man, the poor giants, their feast interrupted doubly simultaneously by two atrocities. The horn signaling this attack on the children. Thunder striking the island. At the base of the tree. Earlier today. Okay. The kids arguing about who's gonna destroy the world. Loki, Nika. Nika with a sword and a shield. Cool. I like these kids' drawings, man. Oda always has so much fun when he has to draw like a kid's drawing or Luffy's drawings. Luffy who draws like a little kid. Ooh. Oh, what the hell? My mom. That's funny. Manga. All those things are what the children drew based on the prompt of what they were afraid of. So this must be some fiendish power by one of these holy knights. The ability to manifest fears into reality. I was gonna say, the snake? I'm gonna go back a bit. The snake looked weird. The snake kind of had the same energy as Kanjuro from Wano. The stuff that he drew. The shading of the snake was different. And its proportions are, like, weird. Yeah, it's like the drawings have come to life. Whoa. And that's why the silhouettes looked so wild, too. Things are a vision of the world that terrifies children the most. Wow. Kino. So Kino! Dude, I love this spread. This spread is so great. What an Imba power, though. So, I think it's all connected. They put the kids to sleep, and then the kids have a nightmare of what they were genuinely afraid of most, and then the nightmares are made manifest through perhaps somebody else's power or just a combo of that's still part of their power or whatever. Killing him himself falls asleep, which is interesting. I love this too. Say, Gunko, are you afraid of anything? Mika. Oh, this is so Kita. I can't get over this spread. It's so bursting with just energy and excitement. And all these things were mentioned by the kids, right? The thunderstorm, the giant wolf, Fenrir. I think in the bottom left there, covered by the speech bubble, is the one kid's mom, I think. The spooky ghosts. Nika. Will Nika have the powers of Nika? Oh, man. I think there's like a big octopus back there, a kraken. This is crazy. Now, before I was like, what's the balance if we get into like big war on Elbaf, all good guys versus all bad guys? Are those forces kind of balanced out? With Loki, let's say, as like agent of chaos third party, and Scopper as maybe non-participant. Now it's feeling more balanced out because we have the entire armed forces of the giant pirates, but also this horde of literal nightmares. My god. Alright. So good. Let's look forward to the next chapter. I think it's on break next week. Let's look forward to 2 weeks from now. Things are getting crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Just so curious about killing him. I don't think it's a double for you. I think he just looks like that. Just because he's still in his awakened form. Why did he get into his awakened form when he was like trying to figure out how to transport there? I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, see ya.